And from the front lines of the war against the coronavirus, a war that is still being fought, I'm very happy today to be joined by 4 young doctors in the first steps of their new careers, already fighting what is a global health emergency. Dr. Aditi Kadakia is an anesthesiologist for the Sir H.N. Reliance Hospital in Mumbai. Dr. Srinivas Kudva is a consultant interventional cardiologist, also based in Mumbai. Dr. Shweta Inarkar is a homeopath, very well-known homeopath based in Mumbai. And Dr. Pranjal Melge is resident of vascular surgery with Jivas in Bengaluru. Dr. Pranjal, and welcome to all of you. Thank you once again. I know how busy you are and I know how tough this time actually is. Before I come to the 4 of you, I just want to put my viewers in the picture about just what a nightmare it is currently to be a doctor in this country, but currently to be a young doctor especially. Just consider the following. Young doctors today, they've begun their careers with the biggest global crisis there is. And you know what is happening in India right now with this second surge? They've had 0 holidays and breaks in at least the last 1 year of their career. The first year of their career, or the first few years of their career, no breaks, no downtime, no holidays, nothing. They have to be continuously working. Number 3, they are witnessing the worst of the healthcare system and what it has to offer, and all of it in the first year. Perhaps the best as well, but also the worst. And the burden is really on young doctors. They are angry and emotional with the public complacence. And you're seeing this in a lot of viral videos that are doing the rounds, including the ones we just showed you. They're traumatized and they're stressed by the scale of death and suffering. And they have to be very strong because they are literally on the front lines. And they are the young doctors with all the strength. And they are frustrated with the system's lack of preparation for this second wave. Dr. Prajwal, I want to start with you. Pranjal, I want to start with you on this. What has this last 1 year been like for young doctors? These are the first few years, if not the first couple of years of your careers. You've already, gone headlong into the biggest health emergency. What has that been like for young doctors just starting out like you, ma'am?
Well, hi, Shiv. So in the last 1 year, the toughest thing that we have had to do is working in the PPE kits at 8 to 12 hours at a stretch. It has been pretty hard because it is challenging physically and mentally. We are working without food, without water for long hours. We have no restroom breaks. A lot of the female doctors are facing a lot of menstrual hygienic crisis. There's a risk of exposure despite of taking all sorts of precautions. A lot of us have been positive, recovered, and immediately had to join back duties because the workforce has been pretty less. And day by day, the workforce has been decreasing with a lot of doctors and nurses and the sanitation workers and everybody being affected one after the other. Some of our colleagues haven't gotten to come back because they have been some of them have been succumbing to the crisis. It's been pretty hard physically, mentally, emotionally. A lot of times when our parents, our friends are getting affected and we cannot be available to them because they have died.
Dr. Aditi, has your experience been similar? Because you doctors as young as yourself have hit the ground running. Your careers have just begun and you're already faced with what will probably be the biggest challenge of your careers.
Hi, good evening, Shiv. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to voice ourselves. At present, considering the current scenario, I am COVID positive right now. My parents are COVID positive. I am treating them. We are home quarantined. So for doctors, we are not really heroes. We are humans too.
Yeah.
We are all in a complete state of burnout where we are completely exhausted physically, emotionally, mentally. But also, if you have a good workplace environment, you have an encouraging colleague, you have good directors in your hospital, I think it just encourages you to go back there and serve the human mankind, no matter how bad it is.
Dr. Srinivas Kudva, give us your experience because I am assuming that none of you have been able to take a single holiday, a special holiday or a special break. No time to leave town to go for a friend's wedding or anything of that kind. It's been 24 hours on the job. No leave for you guys.
Hi, Shiv. Thanks for having me. I'm an interventional cardiologist here in Mumbai, and I'm a visiting consultant at multiple hospitals,
Yeah.
including Breach Candy, Vocard Global, multiple hospitals. So the problem that I am facing personally is when this pandemic started. Personally, I was recently married and I have a 1-year-old son, and I saw what we were going to get into, and I sent him off to my wife's place, native in Bangalore, because I knew what we were going to get into. So for me, I think being an absentee father is probably the most difficult decision of my life, where I've had to put my duty as a doctor above and beyond that being a father. And people don't realize the amount of struggle that we all go through. Shiv, you're a father, and I've been following you for a while, and you put up posts of your daughter's photographs on Instagram, and you would know how it is to be a father and just to not be there. The last time I saw my son, he didn't have a single tooth in his mouth, and now he's 2.5 years old now, and just being, I'm a virtual father right now. Hats off to my wife, who is handling all of this situation alone in Bangalore. But it's really difficult, not only for me, for all doctors out there. The amount of struggle that we have to go through is immense. People don't realize that we doctors are humans, and we are struggling from morning to night just to make sure the patients are stable.
Yeah.
As of now, our main aim is to stabilize patients and send them home. We do realize that for us, a patient will just be a patient, but for them, for the patient's relatives, that patient is their entire world.
Absolutely.
So we do give our 110% and everything that we have into it. But just like how a candle burns out, giving light to others, it takes a toll on us personally.
I can imagine. Just by what you've said so far, Dr. Srinivas, I can imagine what you've been through. I mean, it is something that you guys never get a chance to really talk about, because very few of you are on social media. Some doctors are on social media and they put out their trauma, but most of you are either not on social media, or you don't. You're so completely drowned by your work. Dr. Shweta, what has your experience been like? You are a young doctor. You are serving in a state which is seeing the worst of the coronavirus crisis. Have you had any rest? You have your entire career in front of you, and you're facing the worst already.
Yes, I am a consulting homeopath practicing here in Mumbai. So with this pandemic disease, it was entirely the new disease. Like no one knew how to manage with it, how to deal with it, or what to expect next. But then since I've been practicing in my OPD, I had to shift my entire classical way of practicing to the digital platform, where I started talking with patient via the video calls or the audio calls, and accordingly the patients were prescribed online, or the medicines were couriered to them. But it was really very difficult task and challenging task, because like seeing patient one-to-one is different experience altogether, and then converting them digitally and like assessing the patient's severity, like according to their symptoms, signs, giving them all the blood tests and everything, and assessing it is very difficult when the patient is not in front of you. And like day in and day out, we have been working, like receiving the calls at any time whenever your day is off or so. On that day also, we are receiving calls where patients having a lot of cough, fever, this is the city score, this is the city value, and then we have to be on very much proactive and be on toe whatever the situation is, whatever goes in the background. But at front, we need to give 100% to our patients and take care of them
at the most.
You know, so this is so.
And at times it is also like a psychological.
Of course.
complaints
What
which
about the
patient is
trauma
dealing
of all
with.
of you? You know, this is something that I've been wondering about. You are young doctors. You know, you are just entering the field, so you have a lot of mental strength and physical strength. But the fact is, you are just starting. So you know, you don't have many years behind you. So how do you actually deal mentally with all these things? Stay with me, all four of you. I compiled some of the comments that we've been getting from young doctors online, many of whose videos have gone viral. Just take a look. I've just compiled a few of the things that young doctors have been saying on social media. Plea number one, we are working 24/7. Please think of us. Plea number two, please think of our families too. Plea number three, don't be a superhero. Your complacence is killing us too. Plea number four, by risking your families, you are risking our families. Plea number five, how long can we function without rest and relaxation? Dr. Aditi, does that ring familiar to you? Do you identify with those pleas? I'm sure you do. Every young doctor, you know, probably feels a sense of great helplessness and anger and frustration with the manner in which people have behaved.
I think with every word or the comment that you said, I think all four of us who are with you today, we have certainly said this a multiple times since the last 1 year, and I don't think it's been any different. And there is always this question of why me? Why did I, you know, why am I getting affected? Why? But it is something that is unavoidable, that is happening subconsciously. So calling us superheroes, we're very happy, but we're not superheroes. We are humans too.
Dr. Prajwal, which one of those pleas did you identify with most? Because all of you have said these at one point or the other in the last 1 year.
I think I have identified most with the fact that, you know, you are risking yourself, but you're risking me, you're risking my family.
Exactly.
And being in that situation, I'm not able to meet my own family. I am scared because I am exposed to these affected people, and I'm scared that I'll be affecting my family, which has already happened. I've been positive. My family has been positive. Fortunately, all of us have come out of it, and we are back to duties. But you never know how when you know the second wave might hit us again.
Yeah.
I think people need to be more complacent with whatever advices the government is giving us or the doctors are giving.
Dr. Srinivas, you know, again, like I said, there's very little time for any of you to actually emote and express yourselves, especially in public. There are so many restrictions, especially on young doctors. But I'm sure all of the things I just read out are all things that have crossed your mind in the last 1 year.
All and much, much more, Shiv, because the turmoil is when you're entering a COVID ward with the PPE kit, you know what you're going to get yourself into. But the fear is hurting your loved ones. Taking back the virus, that takes the toll, that takes the guilt. So that is what eats us up even more. And with every patient who passes away, it's like when a soldier kills a person, it takes a part of him away with him. So like that, only when we declare a death to a family, something inside of us changes. It's never the same. It's not easy to tell a loved one that, you know, tell a patient's loved one that their patient is no more.
Yes.
So it affects us emotionally, physically, and the trauma, like how soldiers have PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder. There are a lot of doctors who are also undergoing all of these mental and psychological traumas along with the physical burnout phenomenon. So this is taking a toll on their physical lives, their emotional lives, and their spiritual lives. This is just too much. We are sacrificing everything for what is out there. And when we see people without masks walking on the street, when we see people attending wedding functions, when we see people going for parties and political rallies, and you know, it's just too much to take, because we are giving everything that we have, and yet the system is collapsing.
Yeah.
And people should realize that the mask is the only thing. Please vaccinate yourself no matter what. Please wear a mask, because your mask, see, people shrug off responsibility very easily onto the governments, from one government to the other, from the state to the center, but no one takes responsibility. They should realize responsibility starts with me.
Yeah.
So when I mask up, that time I am protecting myself, I am protecting my loved ones. So everyone should raise their hand up and say, this is a time we stick together. This is not a time for politics. This is a time where we all mask up and we go out only if absolutely necessary. We don't go out to eat a pizza. We don't go out to, party or attend a wedding. We go out only if it is essential for my family to survive.
Absolutely.
That is what this is about, surviving this pandemic.
This is the most distressing part of it, because I wonder, and that's going to be my next question, Dr. Shweta, have any of you had time for your personal lives or your families? With all this going on, is your personal life, has it been on hold for the last 1 year?
Yes, absolutely. Our personal life is on toll. Like we are not getting a personal time. We are not getting a me time. We had to be always proactive on our toes to attend the patients, to solve their all their queries, to guide them, to educate them. So I plea to all my patients, to all the general public, be a responsible citizen, wear proper masks, sanitize yourself. Do not just blame each other or blame government. It is that the responsibility should start within you. It is you who is the responsible citizen. You should take care of yourself and as well as your family. Do not blame and be a responsible citizen, wear proper masks. So that's it. This is how we are going to deal with this pandemic. And it is only going to help us as well as our families, as well as the entire world to come out of it. So make sure that you're wearing your mask, sanitizing yourself, and just motivating each other, giving psychological support rather than blaming each other, rather than blaming government. Please.
I wish this could happen. I wish all of these things could happen, and I can hear the helplessness in your voice as well. I'm going to state the obvious right now. I'm going to state the obvious and tell my viewers why young doctors like you all actually matter. People might be wondering, why are you only talking about young doctors? There are so many other doctors. Let me tell you precisely why here on India Today we've decided to put the spotlight on young doctors. Young doctors have higher mental and physical tolerances, so there is a greater deal of burden on them. Number two, this is almost like a historical boot camp for the next pandemic, because these are the doctors who will be at the front line in the future as well. They will be shaping India's post-COVID healthcare policy and system. That's the reason why we need to listen to young doctors, especially like the 4 we have today, who are just starting their careers, because they will be shaping how India tackles the next pandemic. Their grit, their determination will inspire the next generation of doctors. Their trauma and their stress serves as a caution. Dr. Aditi, there will be generations of medical students who will be watching people like all of you right now and thinking, my God, they've begun their careers in the middle of the most stressful assignment. You couldn't ask for a more stressful assignment. I want to ask you, Dr. Aditi, has there been even a moment for your personal life? And what do you want to tell people out there, to common Indians out there? Because you never get a voice. You're too busy working. And you now even have COVID.
Yeah. So personal life hasn't really moved on since the past 1 year. I was supposed to get married, which I haven't, because every time we plan, there is a first wave, there is a second wave. I get COVID. So personal life actually has been on hold. So genuine request to the common public, as all of us keep on voicing it to you all, is put up your mask, sanitize your hands, just comply with the government. The government is all here to help you. We as anesthesiologists work in the most critical part of treating COVID patients, that is in the ICU, where most of the patients are in the terminal stage of COVID. So mentally, personally, it's a huge thing. Even the word gathering, I develop a phobia to it now, because I see people going in front of my eyes and or going home or just going vertically up. So with due respect, try not to create any kind of nuisance. Be responsible citizens so we can move on with our personal life just the way you all are enjoying yours now.
This is incredible, because I mean, this is the thing. I wonder how many people would have known Dr. Aditi, that you were supposed to get married, you had to postpone it twice. You've got COVID, your parents have COVID, you're sitting at home, your career is taking a pause right now. I'm sure even now you're having to help other people through Zoom and whatnot, because even doctors with COVID are actually on duty. Dr. Srinivas, I mean, this is incredible. There doesn't appear to be an exit. There doesn't appear to be a let up in this whole thing.
See, Shiv, the problem is people think that COVID is going to go away.
Yeah. I want you to address them, Dr. Srinivas. What would you tell people out there who are, thinking that things are okay and nothing's going to happen? Of course, this happened before the second wave.
Yeah. So people need to realize that COVID is a reality. It is not a joke, or it is not something which China has come up with or the big business magnates have come up with to make money. Doctors are not making money. This is not a money-making profitable business.
Yeah.
COVID is a reality, with even youngsters going on ventilator. And since I'm a cardiologist, I have to do 2D echoes for critical patients. So in PPE kits, I am literally hugging COVID patients on a daily basis just to look into their hearts. I know that every ventilator in the city is being used right now, and in fact is even being blocked for the next 3 to 4 days.
Yeah.
One of my patients who got a heart attack CPR, we could get a ventilator bed 12 hours after the heart attack. I had a 27-year-old doctor who got a heart attack because of the work stress. Because of the work stress, a 27-year-old fit doctor got a heart attack. So that is what I'm trying to tell you. COVID is a reality. Please mask up. No matter which religion you belong to, no matter what your political inclination, no matter which part of the country or the world do you live in, you are not going to escape from COVID. You are going to come and confront it some part of the time or the other. So please mask up. This is a horrible reality that we all have to face and we all have to grow up with. Our children are going to have to grow up with COVID. So the only thing we can do is vaccinate ourselves, vaccinate our loved ones, keep distancing, please wear masks, because the toll is, people now need to realize that health is the priority, not education, not wealth, health. And when you all have the luxury, you all have the opportunity to sit at home with your loved ones.
Absolutely.
Please take that opportunity and sit at home with your loved ones. I cannot be with my loved ones because I have to do my duty, but you have the opportunity. Self-explore, meditate.
I couldn't have put it better. And since you're talking about self-explore and meditate, I'll give the last word once again to Dr. Aditi, because she has COVID right now. She's facing it right now. She was treating COVID patients and now she has COVID herself. Dr. Aditi, how do you manage your stress? I know you don't have time for anything else, but considering how much trauma you see, you've got this lovely, cheerful smile on your face. How do you deal with all of it and manage your stress? Because don't sit there and tell me you don't have stress. I know you do.
So I do have stress, but I think this is the key to de-stress myself. Just keep on smiling. Remind yourself that this too shall pass. And seeing the recovery of my parents every day with the help of Dr. Shri, who's been helping me treat my parents too. So with seeing them recover every day, my smile just gets broader and broader. Of course, you need a lot of positivity at home. You need to create a lot of positive aura. Since 3 of us are infected, we have these kitchen duties. We have who's cleaning today, who's not cleaning. So we just keep ourselves occupied in the house. So just to create a friendly environment and early recovery, so nobody slips into any kind of stress disorder or depression or anything. And it's just a matter of 14 days. If you are mildly symptomatic, just wait for 14 days and you'll have a happier face soon.
Dr. Aditi, get well soon and get well to your parents. To all of the others who've joined me today, Dr. Pranjal, Dr. Shweta and Dr. Srinivas, I wish you the very best. India Today is always on your side. We will be bringing you onto our shows again very soon. Let's have a deeper conversation. Consider us an ally in this effort. We will always put the spotlight on our heroes. And I know Aditi said we're not superheroes. For us who are not doctors, believe me, you will always be superheroes no matter what you say to us. Salute to all of you. Thank you for being with us here. All the very best. Stay safe and see you soon. Thank you very much. Taking a very quick break here, much more coming up on the other side. Stay with India Today.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.